So, there's this project making waves on the Avalanche network. It's called NodeBooster. And listen, the claims they're making are, well, they're pretty bold. We're talking about completely rewriting the rules for blockchain validators. And it all starts with a number that just jumps right off the page. 450%. Yeah, you heard that right. That's the ROI they're claiming. And get this, it's not over a decade or something. We're talking about a single 405-day cycle. I mean, a number like that, it's bound to raise some eyebrows, right? Okay, but it doesn't stop there. Then they hit you with this, 99.9% uptime. Now, in the blockchain world, downtime isn't just an inconvenience. It costs real money, big money. So promising that level of reliability, that's a massive deal. And then, just when you think it can't get crazier, you see the entry cost. Okay, so normally, to become a validator on Avalanche, you need to stake 2,000 AVAX. NodeBooster, they're saying you can get in the game with just two AVAX. That's not just lowering the bar, folks. That's basically vaporizing it. So let's just recap for a second. An insane ROI, almost perfect uptime, and an entry fee that's less than a rounding error. You gotta be asking yourself, how is this even possible? Is it magic? Well, that's exactly what we're gonna dig into. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. All right, so to really get how NodeBooster works, we first have to talk about why it even exists. We need to look at the old way of doing things, which, let's be honest, has some serious problems. It's pricey, it's complicated, and frankly, it's just not as efficient as it could be. And this slide really lays it all out, doesn't it? The traditional route means you're shelling out for a beast of a server, and then you need this giant pile of AVAX just to get started. It's a huge commitment, both in money and tech know-how. NodeBooster just comes in and says, nope, you don't need the hardware, you barely need any stake, and oh, by the way, we'll give you better performance. The big question remains, how? Okay, here's the first big piece of the puzzle, the secret sauce, if you will. It all boils down to a super powerful AI engine. Think of it like the central nervous system, the brain behind the whole operation. So the fancy name for it is tensor-based adaptive learning. Yeah, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, I know. But the concept is actually pretty straightforward. Imagine an AI that's not just programmed once, but is constantly learning 24/7. It's never sticking to one setting. It's always watching the network in real time and adjusting on the fly to squeeze out every last drop of performance. And this isn't just random tinkering. The AI runs on this constant four-step feedback loop. First, it watches. It sees everything happening on the network. Then, it acts. It picks what it thinks is the best possible setup. After that, it checks its work. How did I do? And finally, the magic step. It learns. It takes those results and gets smarter for the next round. It's a cycle that just repeats and repeats, getting better every single time. It's relentless. The best analogy I've heard is to think of it like a world-class esports player. They're not just mashing buttons. They're tracking dozens of things at once. Well, this AI is doing the same thing, but for blockchain validation. It's juggling 47 different performance variables simultaneously. We're talking everything from latency to gas fees, and fine-tuning them all in real time to get the highest possible score. And that high score, that translates directly into more rewards and better uptime. So, having an AI brain is amazing, right? But even the smartest brain needs a body to operate in. That brings us to the second pillar of this whole thing, the infrastructure. This is where they tackle that massive problem of needing a super expensive server sitting in your closet. The tech is called a hardware abstraction layer, which, again, is a bit of a mouthful. But think of it like cloud gaming. You know how you can play a graphically intense game on a cheap laptop because all the heavy lifting is done on a server somewhere else? It's the exact same idea. You get all the power of an elite validator setup without actually owning a single piece of hardware. It's all virtual. And going virtual like this comes with some huge perks. I mean, they can spin up new validators for basically zero cost. They can pop up virtual nodes anywhere in the world to cut down on lag. If a data center in, say, Virginia goes down, no problem. The system just instantly reroutes everything. And it can flex its muscles, scaling resources up or down in a heartbeat, depending on what the network needs. It's incredibly resilient. Okay, so we've got the AI brain and the virtual body. What's the third piece? Well, it's the economic engine. This is the glue that holds everything together and, crucially, makes sure that everyone involved is motivated to do the right thing. The whole system runs on a token called AVAX0. And if you look at how it's distributed, it tells you everything you need to know about their priorities. A whopping 90% of all tokens are earmarked for the mining pool. That's not going to the team, it's not for some marketing fund, it's purely there to reward the validators. The token's one and only job is to keep the network healthy and humming along. Now, this whole economic setup is built on a really cool idea from game theory called Nash equilibrium. And don't worry, we're not going to do any math here. The core idea is simple and brilliant. They've designed the system so that playing by the rules and being a good, honest validator is the single most profitable thing you can do. It's not about being a good person. It's about good economics. Trying to cheat or slack off would actually make you less money. It's just not worth it. All right, AI, virtual servers, clever economics. It all sounds great on paper, but the real question is, does it actually deliver? Let's go back to those crazy numbers from the beginning and see if the data backs them up. Remember that 99.9% uptime they promised? Well, here's the proof. The industry baseline is, okay, at around 92.3%. NodeBooster is just in another stratosphere. We're not talking about a tiny little bump in performance here. This is a massive, fundamental jump in how reliable a validator can be. And it's not just about staying online. It's about being fast while you're there. The AI is constantly optimizing, pushing the system to handle over 4,500 transactions per second. That's a huge increase over the standard, which means the network can handle way more traffic without breaking a sweat. And then there's latency. That's the time it takes for your transaction to be officially confirmed. NodeBooster gets it done in under 2 seconds. That is ridiculously fast. For you and me, the end users, it means when you click send, it basically feels instant. No more staring at a loading screen wondering if it went through. So yeah, the tech is real, and the numbers are pretty undeniable. The claims check out. So the natural next question is, what's next on the horizon for a project like this? Looking at their roadmap, you can see they're not just resting on their laurels. The foundation is built, they're running the live pilot right now, but their vision is much bigger. They're already planning to go cross-chain, to bring this tech to other blockchains. And the endgame? Rolling this out to big-time institutional players. They're aiming high. And that really brings us to the big final question, doesn't it? When you combine this powerful AI, this flexible virtual hardware, and this super smart economic model, you get a solution that tackles pretty much every major headache in validation: the cost, the complexity, the performance. So you have to wonder, is NodeBooster just a cool project for the Avalanche network? Or are we looking at the blueprint for how all blockchains will be validated in the future?